How do folks, how you doing? Just a quick one. Remedy and relief. Elusive little fuckers, aren't they? For some, for most. I want to discuss it a little, but you know me, so we're going to do it in my usual bouncing fashion. No doubt we will bounce a bit and go from thing to thing. And I want folks to kind of get it as you must. Now, lots and lots of folks at the minute are offering all sorts of remedies and reliefs and dangling all sorts of carrots and fucking come here and do this and screaming and shouting what they can do for you. That I don't even have a dog in that fight. I don't care. I'm past caring what anybody's trying to get you to do. What I'm trying to get you to do is wake up and realise that you are the power, you are the authority. Now, for too long, for many, many years, I have been absolutely buried in everybody else's paperwork. Everybody that knows me knows that, and I'm absolutely working on overwhelm at all time just to try and keep up, and that shows you what the system is. And it's sort of, I've got like an instant thermometer in the system to what's happening, because I know how many, on average, calls I'm getting, how many requests I'm getting for help, so I see just how bad it is. Now, a while ago, with the first lockdown, they got everybody in a false sense of security. They stopped all debt collections. Now everybody went woohoo, and as usual, when they postpone things, everybody else takes it as that's over. So everybody went and blew all the money, and afterwards, when they allowed the debt collectors to come back, they also gave them new powers. So basically, they laid a lovely little trap for everybody, and you all fell into it. And now they come into you with these new powers, but not only the new powers, they come into you with a new fear factor, because folks don't do their own due diligence. They don't look at exactly what them new powers are, and then these idiots can come and they can claim they've got all sorts of fucking power of God, and you start quaking in your boot. They said, but you're not doing your own due diligence and looking at what new powers they've got and what powers they had in the first place. So there's a big issue. Now, folks come to me for help, and I've been helping for years and years and years and dealing with shit, and I've always known that all I'm doing is putting a sticky plaster on a broken fucking leg. The whole system appears broke, but it isn't. It was set up that way. It was designed that way to trap you and fuck you over. It's not broke in the slightest. It works perfectly, and they can amend it at any time they want, and then you just, oh, I've got to do this now, because they designed it so perfectly that you believe it. Your own due diligence. So anyway, as I said in the last video, Robert came out from Observation Deck with his new book, Diffusing the Debt Bomb. Now, I read it. It's a perfect process. It is a perfect process. And for you that don't know how to do this, it is the best thing in the world to learn, because if you come to me to get a sticky plaster on a broken leg, I put a sticky plaster on this broken leg, they go away, and then the next one comes to you, and then you're coming back for another sticky plaster, and this is why I'm overwhelmed and locked into not dealing with some really important shit that I could and should be dealing with and want to deal with, because I'm always dealing with what is big to you, but in the scheme of things is quite small and petty. So I recommend everybody who's got problems or foresees any problems to get that book and read it and comprehend what's going on in it and what they're doing, because there is a simple solution there. And I said on the last one it was 25 quid. It's $25. I know his market is high in America, so it gets marketed in dollars, but all that means to you is it's less than 25 quid. So what can you say for your whole problems to be solved? If I said to you, give me 25 quid and I'll write you a notice, I should imagine you'd give me 25 quid for me to write a notice. You can give less than that there and learn how to do it yourself, so the next one comes through, you've got the confidence just to go, who the fuck are you? Boom, and then you start dealing with your own affairs, and now you're on the actual ladder to handling your own affairs, and you'll see some results and you'll get the bug. And once you get the bug, the next thing that comes through your door, you're going to be rubbing your hands together, call me, and you're going to actually make money on this process if you follow it through correctly. and you're going to get some of the, I say make money, you're going to get back what they've already had off you, and a claim as well, which is fourfold what they're asking of you if you follow his process. Now, you've got to think about this, folks. It's got to be worth a little bit of time. I think it's 160 pages, correct me if there's a few more pages either way. It's not rocket science. It's not like come and sit here and give 2 weeks up to reading something. It's like come and sit here, give a few hours up, read this, and if you don't get it, come back tomorrow and give a few more hours up, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Ask a few of the right questions to a few of the right folks, you'll absolutely get it. And it's all there, literally everything, including templates. So, I mean, this wasn't about advertising Robert's book, but it may as well, because that is your solution. Because these band-aids for the broken legs, all they do is prevent me from moving forward with things that could benefit you a whole lot more, and I could have a whole lot more time to put things out. There's one template notice I've been trying to get out there for ages, and I really wanted to come back with it after my Facebook ban, but just didn't get the time, because I've got to clear up all the fucking build-up of shit that I've got to deal with to actually get to it. But folks, wake up. The power is you. Now, Robert's Way holds them to their system, but you need to remember something. It's all trust and contract. They're coming at you, and you was born of your creator and being granted dominion of this land by your creator. No, I don't just mean England or whatever country you're in, of the entire land mass. We was given dominion of it by our creator, and there's no man stands in between that. No man. And if anybody says that they do, show me. I need to see the paperwork that says you actually have the power over me, the man. It cannot be done. It cannot be done. So as that is your starting point, that is your base, because I see many people starting from a false or fucking totally incorrect base, and then they build all the information and knowledge on a false and incorrect base. I've been hearing lately a few folks talking about the canon laws, and the canon laws, they're quoting 20 odd 57 and fuck it, come on. You've only got to look at the canon laws to know that it doesn't go to 20 anything. So then you've got to start thinking, never mind who wrote it, because I can all tell you who wrote it. I've just been told recently a guy in Australia wrote it. But the reality is, it doesn't matter who wrote it. It matters what is what. That's what matters. Don't get hooked up. Folks are getting... I've met somebody recently on the internet, a really nice fella, but I can see exactly what's happened. He's gone into this from a wrong basis, a false starting point, and he's built his entire knowledge base from a false starting point. So when he's talking, it sounds absolutely fantastic, but when you break it down, it's wrong. Now, he's had loads of successes with it, and you do. And this is, let me explain to you. You see all these folks that have hit and miss processes, and processes that work for a while and then they don't. It isn't about that. If you stand in honour throughout whatever you do, you will win. That's an absolute. But you're all looking for an absolute process. This is what you do. That's where you do it. Now, there are processes out there that are absolute, and if you follow them, they will absolutely work. But if you're following some other group's ideas and plans, and I'm going to do this, that and the other, and taking on board all this bollocks and all these fake laws and all the distractions that were put in there, and then you're going to perpetuate it, take it into your knowledge base, even though you may be able to get rid of a few things along the way because you've stood in honour and your notices are right and everything they do is built up on fraud, that's why you're winning. But it doesn't mean your process isn't flawed. If you're dead set in your process, you better damn well know it's 100%. And if you're fighting and not getting anywhere, you're getting something wrong, and you need to work out what it is you're doing wrong. It's it's a funny old world at the minute, because especially now, because there's an awful lot of folks looking for answers, and it's why I don't even fucking begin to advertise dealing with people's major issue of getting out of the system, because there's lots of folks telling you at the minute how you can get out of the system, and I'm not going to be one of them. I'm just not going to entertain it. Most of them want you to sign your life over to them, or let them fucking send your shit off and wait, and you've done nothing and you know nothing, and it's just like, what the yeah, I'm free, because he said, if you ain't got note in your fucking hand, and you ain't fucking signing anything off in your, autographing anything off, sticking your dab to it, and you're fucking sending it off yourself, you're not handling your own affairs. You're not. And it doesn't matter where the information comes from, because you say, oh yeah, but if you write something and then that isn't, that doesn't matter, because every bit of information you get, you got from somewhere. Just the fact that you assimilated it, put it all together and put it out there, means nothing whatsoever. Because if the facts are the facts within the paperwork, you sign it off and you send it off and you serve it, you learn it and you stand on it, and you respond to any responses, you're handling your own affairs. While ever you're expecting somebody else to do it for you, you're not handling your own affairs. And don't think for 1 minute the system doesn't know this. When you're dealing with a government, you might say, yeah, they'll get loads of stuff come through, but they won't get very much that's concise. They won't get very much that's actually right come through. And you can bet your fucking arse, when they get something that's right that comes through, it goes to a totally different department. Whether they acquiesce into it or not, it's not just fucking filtering into the usual shite. It will absolutely get filed separately. Now, if you've got somebody filing your shit wrong for you, and it's being filed wrong, you're never going to know, and you've never got anything that you can actually stand on. You've not got any knowledge from it, you've not got anything to learn. You've got something that's probably, if you're listening to who you're following, is on a constant chase and hasn't actually stopped chasing. So if you're going to jump on that, you're going to be forever chasing, you're not going to stop chasing, and you're not going to actually learn how to get remedy and relief. Now, remedy and relief comes in many forms. We're not talking everything is about solving your entire problems, because most of you aren't even on that journey. Most of you are on this journey where you're just going through your own life, doing your own thing, whatever that be. It's none of my business. But you're not paying any attention to this shit at all until something comes through your door. Now it's biting you in your arse. I haven't got time to learn, so I have to go to him again. Well, you've had the time to learn. I know folks that have been listening to me for years and years and years, and are still saying to me, how do I do this with the easiest of things? And that's because you listen to a video and it's gone from your head 2 minutes later, because it matters not. This isn't affecting your life, so you don't care. You'll do something like that one day, you'll get somebody off your back one day, but you don't feel you've got anybody on your back until they're biting you. So once they bite you, it's too late then. Desperation sets in. You need to settle this immediate problem. But the reality is, a whole load of acquiescence is going on over a whole long time, whereby you're living your life, enjoying it or not. I mean, I know there's loads of people that have just sat in their fucking house for the last fucking 8 months. What a perfect opportunity to learn. A great university of home study, innit? If you take the opportunity. But no, people, I don't know what you're doing. I see loads of memes of fat fuckers laid on a sofa with their feet up, eating fucking junk, making jokes about lockdown. It's up to everybody else how they spend their time, and it's entirely up to you guys how you spend your time. But I have come to the conclusion, this overwhelmingly drowned in paperwork that I live my life under doesn't stop until I put a stop to it. And I feel at the minute lucky enough that I'm able to do that, so I don't want an easy life. I don't want to sit on my arse. Everybody that knows me knows I'm an absolute workaholic, which absolutely means I'm going to be firing all of my attention into moving this shit further forward and doing far more important things than batting away little fucking debt collectors. And if anybody knows where I am in this fucking game, they would have full comprehension of those things could be quite beneficial if I'm allowed to do it. So I do feel very, very lucky that Robert's actually come out with this book, so I can, in honour and in good faith, say to folks, go and get that book, because that is your answer. That is your answer at your levels. What you're coming to me saying, I don't get it, I can't do this, here you go, can you help me? That is your answer. And not just your answer to this, it's your answer to the next one, or the next one, or it's your first step in your journey of comprehending that there is a journey to take of who you are. As I said, you was born into this world with nobody in between. At some point, a contract seemingly was assumed to be created, and you'll all go, oh yeah, birth certificate, this, Sescovy, and you can blame it on all these fucking things you want, but no. I mean, the Sescovy Act there, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's there to settle your life. There's a fund there, learn it, or don't. But you are being bound by assumed and presumed contracts that are not just about the Sescovy. Lots of contracts, and every one of them is null and void, ab initio null and void from the start. If you learn. But there's no point in me keep jabbering about stuff that's way over your head level. Get your feet on the ladder. Learn some stuff. I'm not just trying to push a man's book here. I'm trying to educate you guys in the best way I can. And it just turns out, reading Robert's book and speaking to Robert, he's actually a very good educator. I'm not a good educator, I'm a good doer. And I can tell you what I do, and I can tell you all the easiest ways I can tell you how to do what I do. And you'll still come to me and say, can you do that? Because I don't get it. He explains it in a way you can't not get. And if you don't get it on the first time round, have another read and ask a couple of questions. Google a few words that you might see. It's not rocket science. I see people waiting for days for a response on what does this mean. They could have Googled it. It's right at their fingertips. It's an age of well, it was an age of information, but that sort of information is still there. Anything I don't understand, have you tried to understand it? Have you done your own due diligence before you waited to ask somebody else what their due diligence was? At least try and find out. Black's Law Dictionary, fantastic one for your words. You want to know what a word means? Look it up on Black's Law Dictionary. Dead easy. Acts of Parliament. You want to quote an Act of Parliament in there? You better be damn sure you Googled it or DuckDuckGo'd it. I don't care what your fucking search engine is, but you better be sure that you looked at it and read it. And when you look at them, they're not that long. If you want to go and read an Act, oh yeah, they're fucking massive. Go and fucking look. It's not. It don't matter how long it takes you to read the Act, it's your due diligence. Get your arse in there, read the Act, because you know while you're reading the Act, you'll find something else in there and go, oh, they can't do that. Look, this is what they've done. I was just reading the Bills of Exchange Act yesterday, 1882, again, for the many times, and I've spoke, and I don't study the Bills of Exchange Act, but I've read it a few times in my life, and I was talking to somebody else who's read it quite a lot, and I know quite a few people who have really studied it. But there's a very strange point in the Bills of Exchange Act 1882 which covers electronic transfer. Now I laugh, but blatant fraud. The Bills of Exchange Act 1882 covers your electronic transfers. Now you can say amendments or whatever, and no, it don't stand like that, because you look at the government's own website, put up the Bills of Exchange Act 1882 and read it down there, and what they are feeding you, fake news, disinformation, that electronic transfers were covered in the 1882 Bills of Exchange Act. So, but in all honesty, in many ways, the Bills of Exchange Act can actually help us. So how far do you want to attack it? Yes, there's something in it that doesn't really affect you too much, but it does show you that they're fraudulent fucks, and it also means to me that nothing on the government website, I mean, I know we're liars. I know they're liars. That's a slip, innit? But when they lie on their websites in writing, that's a totally different story. It's one thing coming on the TV and lying to you there, because when you look under the the TV's registration, you'll find they're actually licensed and registered as entertainment, not factual. So it doesn't matter what they say to you on there, that's entertainment. But when they put it on their website, it better damn well be right. Now, if you can see something so blatant as electronic transfers in the Bills of Exchange Act, that doesn't just bring into question the Bills of Exchange Act, that brings into question the entirety of the government's website and literally every single piece of information they feed us. Literally. Now, we know they feed us a load of shite, but not from the website. The website has to be accurate. It's in writing. Now, yes, we could find somebody to fuck over that, but what benefit do we get from it? But the more benefit from knowing that literally everything they do is bullshit. And if they've got so fucking blatant that they will blatantly lie in the Bills of Exchange Act written on the government's own website, then wow, I don't know what you're going to believe of them. Probably Q. But hey, what can I say? So listen, folks, I don't know what to say to you anymore. I'm seeing folks that should really be getting this shit long ago and still by now that really aren't, and I'm seeing folks that are saying, yeah, I'm getting this, I get it, and then they're really not. You've got to do your own due diligence. You've got to learn. There's no point in keep going to other folks for it. And after years of just, I could cry sometimes. I've got so much fucking work to do and so much that I have to do in the future. I've got this to get through today, that to do tomorrow, and I've got entire weeks always built up of what I've got to do and putting people off. Many of you have heard me say, look, I'm so wrapped up at the minute, can you call me midweek or next week? And I can't do this shit. I just cannot keep doing it. One, it's no good for my health. I'm healing, I'm getting better. Now in this journey, I keep fucking taking backward steps again because I get so stressed out with the amount of work I've got on. I can't do it all. And I don't think anybody really wants me to do it to that extent, but everybody is just coming to me as just them. So yeah, by any means necessary, can I get him to do it? And a bit of guilt and a bit of this and a bit of... And I live my life on fucking obligations and feeling obligated to dealing with other people's folk, and it shouldn't, other people's stuff. It shouldn't ever be like that. It should never feel like an obligation. I've had so many friends throughout this journey that have gone by the wayside because I haven't had time, and I presume they feel neglected when I've done so much for them, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, come on, I've done it all for you and I'm still getting 100 this way. So good people have gone by the wayside, which should really still be in my life. And I haven't got time to get them back into my life because my life's so fucking busy with what I've got on. So it really is time. I don't believe for 1 minute I'll ever get a life back, because I'm that way inclined. If I haven't got this to do, I'll do that. But I've got more important things to be moving on to, and if I can point you to a way where you're not left in the shit and you've actually got, here's your avenues, here's your angles, you look after your own due diligence and you deal with things immediately. Now, acquiescence means you do not put a letter down and say, I'll do it next week. Now, if a letter comes through your post and you've got a claim, if you've got the knowledge, the response to that should be in the post the very next day. And anything else is bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow because I've got to do this. You're prioritising. Tomorrow will come and you'll have this to do that's more important than that. And in a week's time, you've forgot all about it, and 2-3 weeks go by. Oh shit, I've got to do that, haven't I? And then a couple more days, and then it's too late. Oh, it's too late now anyway, fuck it. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I couldn't be fucking arsed. They pissed me off. I didn't want to fucking answer to them. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't answer. I've heard everything. But it all means you absolutely acquiesced, and then when it's 10 times worse, can you go to somebody? Can you do this? And it's got really easy for folks to say, got another one. And it's really easy for folks, once they wangle you in to do something for them, to just send you the next thing, or they get a response, they send it to you. They haven't even looked at it. They don't need to look at it. They don't need to learn any of this because they've got somebody to do it for them. This is the problem. And I honestly believe, and everybody who knows me knows, that I'm a frustrated guy who's desperately wanting to help everybody. But that frustration has built to the point of ridiculousness because I'm always fucking so busy. It's there, folks. I don't need to be frustrated because I'm constantly feeling obligated to somebody or obligated to help him because I have some knowledge that you don't have. The knowledge is there, and now it's so easily there for $25. Don't know what the currency conversion is at the minute, but it's less than 25 quid. And there's your answer, not just to this problem, your next problem, your next one after. And like I say, it's your footstone to everything else, because once you've actually took that step and you've got success, you're going to be looking at the next one as, no, it's not an issue at all. And then when something a little bit bigger of an issue comes, you're going to deal with it the same way and find out you had the same result. And then your bigger issues come and you deal with them the same way and you find out you have the same result. And then you get the confidence because you realise it doesn't matter how big the issue is. It's not about that. Do you know who you are? There's a process. There is a process. I've given loads of templates. I've done loads of... I've always been baffled how I've got folks who I've done 10 things for and they still ask me for things. Well, they've got 10 notices in their hands, actually on the computer, in their files, what they've had to print out to serve to somebody. They could just look through and build something very similar, or use something exactly the same, change a few details. But even as that, they still want you to actually give your time to doing it. And it's not fair for me to give 4 hours of my day to literally everybody, plus probably a couple of hours on the phone discussing it, and this is literally everybody I'm dealing with. I'll put 4 hours into writing your notice, another one will come through, you just send it to me to put another few hours writing the next one, and then a third one, and then it'll come back to me and I'll have to do that. And you think of this on accumulation, so you can imagine how much I'm buried under at all times, because there's always somebody just sending me something, sometimes just random pictures of a debt I don't even know what it's about, just boom, I just get that as if to say, here you go, deal with that. And this shows me the level of acquiescence of others, and it's fucking scary. Come on, folks, it is time to learn. It's time to do your own due diligence. There are routes and avenues for your own remedy and relief. Now, remedy, lots of folks want to define it as, that ain't remedy, remedy's bigger than that. Remedy and relief is whatever you're requiring and whatever you need to get, and you'll get that. If you're discussing a certain particular remedy, that's another totally different thing. But when some asshole, that isn't remedy, oh fuck off, somebody being pedantic again, somebody playing word games. Don't play with this bollocks. Word games are only going to get you fucking stuck and confused. Plain simple English, plain simple counting systems. If there's any words you don't fucking know, look it up. Just simply fucking Google it, Black's Law Dictionary it, do whatever you've got to do. It's not rocket science. If you want to find some maxims of law, there's fantastic ones. There's a great file in Wonky World there, go get it. Fucking loads of them. Just go, after you've wrote your notice, just go down and maxims will pop into your head pertaining to your notice, and then just slot them in the right place. There's loads of things you can do. But if you don't fucking try, you're not going to learn, and eventually you're going to be feeling let down by somebody like me who just says, I can't keep fucking doing this. And I don't get no respect for what I've done at that point. There's no respect for what's been done in the past. I'm just a cunt because I won't keep doing it. If that is what it is, that is what it is, and that's where we are right now with me. There is a perfect method out there to solve your own issues, and a guy's put a lot of work and effort into it, and if you can't give him $25 fucking for it, you can't come to me expecting me to give 4 or 5 hours of my time up after a couple of hours phone calls. That's 6 hours, and then later on you're going to send me something else to give more hours up. Imagine if I was coming to whatever job you do and was asking this of you so regular, to do that amount of work for me so regular, knowing that I had all the tools and the ability to do it myself, just not the confidence. Kind of gets you down. It drags me down. And to be honest, to say I've got a group called Wonky World where I'm supposed to be all laughy and jolly, I'm not being very laughy and jolly. And I've noticed at the minute, as I'm trying to clear up all my backlog, I'm not on there very much, but folks that are there wondering where the fuck I am, I'm trying to clear up my backlog, and I will be back. I will be back very shortly. I've been on a ban, obviously, but I'm off it now, and I will be coming back, but I have to clear up my backlog. Anyway, folks, for just a quick one, I've pushed it a bit. I am going, because I'm home, and learn some stuff. We are there for you. Just be aware of how much you ask of us. I don't think folks really do realise just how much they do ask of us, and they don't realise how much work we put into what we do for them. So I'm not asking for appreciation or anything else. Just do your own due diligence. Diffusing the Debt Bomb observation deck. It is a great little read, and it will solve your problems. Have a good one all. I do love you all. I do get stressed out occasionally, but I'm working on it. See you later.